Hey Gun Geeks, I'm Destiny from Guns Gear and Fitness. Have you ever had to use deadly force? I'm asking this question because I want to start a conversation. I tried this in a video a couple years ago and it worked out pretty well. It's one of my more trafficked videos, but the thing that I really liked about the Have You Drawn Your Gun video was all the discussion that it started. There are like 1,600 comments of all these people who chimed in with their experiences and their thoughts on whether or not they had drawn a gun and what circumstances they thought it would be appropriate. And I wanted to take that discussion a step further. In the couple years that I've concealed carried, I've never had to draw my gun, let alone use it. So I'd like to ask you guys, have you ever had to not just draw your gun, but take aim at another human being and pull the trigger? God, that just, even saying it is like eerie and scary. But as a concealed carrier, it's something that I do have to consider. If I choose to have that firearm on my person, I'm making that decision that if I'm in a life or death situation where I can preserve my life or the life of one of my loved ones by pulling that firearm out, I'm making that choice that I'm saying I'm prepared to do this in defense of my life or a loved one. But God, I can't imagine what would that moment feel like? Like, what thoughts are going through your head? Like, do you even have the time to make that rational decision of, let's ponder out all of the pros and cons of this scenario? You know what I mean? That's why I'm asking you this, because I know some of you out there already have had to defend your life or defend somebody else's life. And I'm curious to know, how did you feel about it? Like right after the fact, what's the emotional impact, you know? Because that's a pretty heavy choice to live with. And I think that this could be a good forum for us to talk about how to emotionally prepare for, should that scenario ever come up, where in a self-defense situation, a concealed carrier has to make the choice to use deadly force. Actually, let's expand it not just to concealed carriers. I'm sure military or law enforcement personnel, they're put in this situation of having to use deadly force, or at least draw on a person more than, say, your average concealed carrier. I know it's not the same scenario exactly, but maybe you guys have some input. You can share your experiences from times that you have been put in that situation. And how did you respond? How do you handle that, like, long term? I mean, post-traumatic stress disorder is a real thing, and it's something that we've heard a lot about in the last few years. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of lingering impact on not just military personnel who have to take aim at a human being, but self-defense shooters who have to take aim in preservation of their life. I wonder what kind of long-term effects that has. I'd like to talk with you guys about it. Let's start a discussion, because I found that, well, for one thing, I want to be better mentally prepared for if I have to take that choice and how to confront that. But maybe there are some of you who are trying to go through that emotional trauma. Well, this is a place where you cannot be alone. Let's talk about it, and I'll join the conversation.